Yeah, I hope you are doing well today and are ready for a nice stretch. I actually haven't thought through what we're going to do today, so can very much make it up in the moment. But I'm going to do a little bit of work around the hips, definitely. So we're going to do pigeon today. So if pigeon's new to you, it requires a little bit of just listening to what I'm saying, quite importantly, looking at what I'm doing maybe, but we can make adjustments as we go. So really good one for your hips, your glutes, and yeah, let's just go from there really. We get a quad stretch in at the end of that. So sitting nice and tall, really focus on using your core to lift yourself up. Roll the shoulders back, maybe do a few rotations just to loosen the shoulders. Just take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay, so working on the shoulders, what we're going to do is we breathe in, we're going to hunch our shoulders up to our ears, and as we breathe out, a big sigh and release the shoulders. So breathing in, hunch, and again. Okay, going to go into a side stretch, so make sure you're still lifting your spine nice and tall here. Placing the right hand on the mat beside you. Breathing in, take the left arm up. And as you breathe out, reaching over to the right. Breathing in, bring it up to neutral. And as you breathe out, place the left hand on the mat. Breathing in, take the right arm up. And as you breathe out, reaching over to the left side. Breathing in, bring it up, and as you breathe out, release the hands. Give them a nice little shake. And we're just going to stretch our wrists and our forearms. So starting with your left hand, it looks like I'm doing the stop sign at you. Just take your right fingers and just apply a little bit of pressure on the back of the little fingers of the left hand fingers even. And then we'll do the other side. So you might want to just do some rotations in between, loosen things up. And then we'll do the right hand. So right hand using the left hand just to draw the fingers back a little bit. And release the hands. Again, some more rotations of the wrists. Give them a nice shake. And we'll do some sun salutations. So I'm going to see if my hat stays on throughout this. Let's see how we do. So standing at the top of your mat. So your feet are hip width apart to start. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring your palms to chest. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. Breathing in, take the right leg back. Drop the knee, relax the foot, and open up the chest. Holding the breath to plank position. And breathing out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Pushing from your toes, breathe in, scoop up. Curl the toes, breathe out, hips to ceiling. Breathing in, right leg forward, drop the left knee, relax the left foot. Breathing out, left leg forward into the forward fold. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. And breathing out, palms to chest. We'll do the other side. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Breathing in, left leg back, drop the knee, relax the foot, open up the chest. Holding the breath to plank position. And breathing out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Breathing in, scoop up. Curl the toes, breathe out, hips to ceiling. Breathing in, left leg forward. Drop the right knee. Breathing out, right leg forward into the forward fold. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. And breathing out, palms to chest. So the more familiar we get with this, the better, because in the new year, I'll be starting to ramp things up a little bit, going a little bit faster in the sun salutation, getting that energy, that fire going in the body. But as we're on the wind down of the year, we're just going to leave it there for the time being. So we'll go into a forward fold. So again, starting with your feet hip width apart. Breathe in, reach up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, reach forward and down into the forward fold. So, as always, keep those legs straight, but keep a softness in the knee. Don't lock the knee here. Just let your arms and your head dangle. And just take some nice, easy breaths. Feel maybe you've got tight hamstrings, or you can feel it in your back. Just notice that with every out breath, you may be able to just sink a little bit closer to the floor. Okay, so planting the hands down. We're going to take the legs back into downward facing dog. So for downward dog, you need the weight equally between your hands and your legs. So really draw your hips up and back. And you can pedal out here a bit if you wish, if that's nice for your hamstrings. Okay, so we're going to go into pigeon now. So for pigeon, we start off in plank position. So transition into plank. So your shoulders are above your ankles. Feel free to adjust your feet if you need to. And then what we're going to do is take the right knee to the right elbow, cross the foot over and drop down so the right knee is sitting on the floor just behind the right wrist. So how far over and up this right foot gets does not matter. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be twisting and putting pressure on your knee. And then drop your left knee to the floor, relax the foot and extend that leg. So you want the weight equal in your hips. So try not to roll one way or the other. Have a play around with your hip positioning. And you should be feeling a good stretch through your right bum and hip. Now, depending on your body, you might actually have tighter hip flexing on your left side, so that might be where you're feeling it. But if that's not the case, wriggle your bum and your hip around until you find that stretch in your left hip and bum. So obviously I can't see you. Hopefully you can see me clearly enough. So sit nice and tall here. And then we're going to make our way down to our elbows. So depending on your hip flexibility, this might be a really tight, amazingly good stretch for you, but quite restrictive and uncomfortable. So this is where you really need to listen to your body rather than following what I'm doing. So go down to your elbows if that's comfortable for you. And again, make sure your hips are square so you haven't rolled in or outwards. And make the most of your out breath. So using the in breath through the nose. And then as you breathe out through the nose, just relax. Try and ease into the stretch. And if you feel comfortable giving it a go, extend the arms and drop the forehead to the mat. If this is too much for you, stay on your elbows or maybe back up to your hands, depending on what's right for you. So from here, we'll slowly make our way back to our elbows and then back to our hands. And then we'll go for the quad stretch now. So bending the left knee, hold the ankle on the outside if you can. Good one for balance. Maybe you've just fallen over, I don't know. But work by pulling that left heel towards your bum. And you'll feel a stretch down the front thigh, so your front quad, left quad. And release the foot, plant the hands down, tuck the left toes under, and then we're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling, give it a good shake, release any tension, and drop back into downward dog. Give it a nice pedal out here. And then we're going to do the other side, so bringing the weight forward into plank again. This time, left knee to left elbow. Cross the foot over, plant the left knee behind your left wrist, drop the right knee to the floor, extend the leg and sit nice and tall, and play around with your hip positioning so that you're getting that stretch through your left hip. This is really good for runners if you suffer with IT band issues. It's been the only thing that enabled me to get back to running. And then we'll slowly make our way down to our elbows. And then again, if you're comfortable doing so, extend the arms, rest the forehead on the mat. You may notice one side tighter than the other, or not. Just observe these differences, don't judge or worry about it, just have the awareness. And slowly make your way back to your elbows, back to your hands, and then this time we'll bend the right knee, hold the ankle for the quad stretch. And release the foot, plant the hands down, tuck the right toes under, and then take the left leg up to the ceiling. Give it a good shake, and back into downward dog. Nice little pedal out here. And then with control, we're going to make our way down onto our tummy. So if you're game for it, start in a plank position, and then with control, lower yourself down. Otherwise, feel free to belly flop, entirely up to you. So we're going to start with extended cobra. So this is a good one for spine flexibility. So start with your ankles or your legs. Your legs and ankles are hip width apart. And you guys start with your forehead on the mat. I won't, because otherwise you won't be able to hear me. So you have your hands placed palms down on the mat, somewhere sort of in line with your jaw or your face maybe, but we're going to do an adjustment if needed here. So for extended cobra, you raise your upper body off the floor here. So you feel the spine flex going on. Now, the important things here are your arm positions. So what you need is your arms to be parallel, so you haven't got your elbows sticking out. You have a slight bend in your elbows, so you haven't locked your elbows, there's a bend, and you've got your shoulders rolled backwards. So classic extended cobra mistakes are lock the elbows, hunched on your shoulders. Next thing you know, all you've got is all the weight in your arms. So if you feel like you haven't got the right position and you feel a lot of weight in your arms, lower yourself down, take your arms a bit further forward and make your way back up again. So the softness in your elbows, roll the shoulders back. You shouldn't feel too much weight in your arms. If you start getting those Elvis shakes going on, come down and extend your arms a little bit more. And then to come out of extended cobra, we very slowly come down, but extend the spine. So really reach forward as you make your way down. And when you're down, we'll take a rest in crocodile pose. So that's Makasana. So you can use your arms as a pillow, or you can have them resting by your side. Big toes together and drop the ankles out to the side. And just rest here. So give in, fully sink into the floor. No need to hold yourself, just relax. Then we're going to go into bow pose. So bending your knees, hold your ankles on the outside. As I said before, if this is as far as you can get, then that's absolutely fine. And then as we breathe in, raising up if you can, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing here. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest down. Good work. Plant the hands down, slide back into extended child's pose. So you're sat back in child's pose, but you have your arms extended in front of you. Spread those fingers nice and wide and feel the stretch through your back here. And then we'll just turn this into a resting pose. So just bring your arms beside you. And again, rest your forehead on the mat. Nice, easy breaths. And very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, unfurl so that you end up in a seated position. And then roll your shoulders back. We're just going to take a moment just to tuck those toes under and gently sit back on your heels. If there's agony and you feel like something's suddenly going to ping, then just come down off your toes. If you're comfortable doing so, roll the shoulders back, interlink your fingers behind your back, really opening up your chest here. So proud pigeon chest. Really good stretch for your feet, but also opening up the chest, undoing all that hunching that we do at desks all day long. then coming onto all fours, give those feet a shake. Just tap them on the floor or just shake them in the air, whatever's comfortable for you. We'll just do a little bit of cat-cow just to help loosen up the spine. So on all fours, wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. As you breathe in, the head and the tailbone go up. And as you breathe out, arch the back, tuck the head and the tailbone under. And just go at the pace of your breath here, nice and slow and steady. And we'll bring it back to neutral now. And we'll just go into some yoga teachers call this Superman or something like that. I like to call it stick insect because I think we look a lot more like stick insects. But you can be the judge once you see me. So we'll start with the left leg extended and the right arm. Where you're looking is either at the floor below or ahead, whichever's more comfortable for your neck and for your balance. So nice and strong in your left shoulder here. See, we look like stick insects. Much better name, in my opinion. And bringing the hand and the knee back down to neutral. And then we'll do the other side. So extend the right leg and the left arm. And bring it back to neutral. Good work. Going to cross the feet over, roll back onto our bums, and we'll make our way. I need to adjust my mat, it's making its way off the rug here. Make the way to the middle of the mat, and we're going to come down onto our backs, keeping the knees bent and the feet on the floor. And resting your head on the mat. So we're going to go into half bridge now. This is the one where you draw your heels close enough so if you're reaching, you can just touch your heels with your fingertips. And then relax your arms by your side. Knees and feet about hip width apart. Then as we breathe in, raising the hips up and drawing the weight back onto your shoulders here. So just take a moment to check in with your knees. Make sure they haven't wandered out too far and they're still in line with your hips. And then if you want to get further into the stretch, you can interlink your fingers behind your back. Tuck your shoulders in a little bit more and really raise your hips up here. So keep looking up to the ceiling. Try not to turn your head when you're in this position. Just so you know, most of these poses we're going to ramp up to another level, so we're going to keep building on the work we're doing next year, but for now we're just starting off nice and slowly. So release your hands, rest them palms face down beside you, and then vertebra by vertebra very slowly roll down, and when your hips touch the floor, hug it out in a releasing pose. So knees to chest, nose to knees, nice and tight. And if you want, you can gently rock side to side here. Okay, then placing the feet on the floor, keeping your knees bent, resting your head on the mat. We've not got long left, I'm afraid, but we're just going to do one last little movement for the spine. So take your arms out 90 degrees from your body, palms face down. Then we're just going to window wiper our knees side to side. So I don't know what your day is like, but it's pretty rainy out there right now here, so window wipers probably a little bit necessary. This is good, just loosen up the hips, loosen up the spine. We'll be in the future turning this into more of a tummy abdominal workout by lifting our feet off the floor. So bringing it back to neutral. Again, one last hug in a releasing pose. Hug it nice and tight. And then rocking forwards and backwards. Again, nice little massage for the spine here. And make your way to a seated position. And that's the end of the practice today. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Pigeon is quite possibly one of my favourite poses because it just gets such a good stretch through the hip. So hope you enjoyed it too. And yeah, have a lovely Christmas, good New Year, and I'll see you back first week of January. Thank you.